and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So, we have none other than Senator Bernie Sanders. Yes, the infamous Senator Bernie Sanders, who ran not once, but twice for the Democratic nomination and lost. Lost, unfortunately. But hey, let's face it, he willingly gave up and left his supporters, volunteers, and delegates high and dry. All out of compromising for the Democratic Party. This is the same Bernie Sanders who's sheepdogging so many people. And the thing is, you know, I respect the words that Bernie Sanders has said. I respect the words that he has said in regards to making sure that we fight for a better future. But however, Bernie Sanders doesn't follow through. Bernie Sanders shouldn't be the person carrying that banner anymore as a fighter, because here he is once again trying to defend Biden's agenda against Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema. Now, look, to be clear, Bernie Sanders has every right to call out Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema for their hypocrisy, for their, inability to really, see past the neoliberal system that they're in. But let's face it, Manchin and Sinema are neoliberal Democrats, corrupt to the core, and love those corporate donations. And here Bernie Sanders, again, on Meet the Press, is talking about how Manchin and Sinema have been undermining Biden's agenda. But I have an interesting link from PolitiFact that shows that the person that's been undermining Biden's agenda has been Biden himself. So let's play this first video of Senator Bernie Sanders defending senile old man Joe 30330. Let's play it.
Okay, everything you said there was being addressed in Build Back Better. Okay, it wasn't as big as you wanted it. It was too big for some. But why do we have nothing? Right, that is the head scratcher here. Understand you don't have it all. Why is it zero? Why is there nothing?
Well, it should not be a head scratcher. You got two members of the Senate, Senator.
Let's pause right
Manchin
here. Let's pause right here. Actually, I am scratching my head, Bernie Sanders. How is it that you allowed yourself to be smacked around by the Democratic Party? In 2020, you nearly had it. You were this close. And then you decided to cuck out as soon as Obama made that phone call and everyone else dropped out of the race. You weren't aggressive. You kept on calling Joe Biden your good friend. Joe Biden, who's one of the leading architects of this neoliberal nightmare we're in. Joe Biden, who gladly voted for the war in Iraq. Joe Biden, who sided with credit card corporations to make student debt what it is. Joe Biden, who was against, busing and desegregation. That's your good pal, Bernie. It's a head scratcher. What'd you get in return? Did the Democratic Party offer you anything? All those compromises you made? Did you get something back? Oh, that's right. No, you didn't. Let's play the rest of the video.
Senator Sinema, who have sabotaged what the president has been fighting for.
That's a strong word, sabotage.
Sabotage.
Well, you help me out with a better word here. You got 48 members of the Senate who wanted to go forward with an agenda that helped working families, that was prepared to take on the wealthy and the powerful. You got a president who wanted to do that. You had two people who prevented us from doing that. You have a better word than sabotage? That's fine, but I think that is the right word. And I think pressure has got to be put on the part of people in West Virginia, in Arizona, to say, you know what, why don't you stand up for ordinary Americans, not just your wealthy campaign contributors? Why don't you have the guts to take on the drug companies and the insurance companies and the fossil fuel industry? And I think we have got to go and take that agenda that you indicated. It's what the American people want. Do the American people think it makes sense that some of the wealthiest people in this country pay zero in federal income tax? Of course they don't. Zero. Corporate, large corporations making billions pay zero in federal income tax. We have got to have the guts to go forward with an agenda that shows the American people what we're trying to do. You're going to have no Republicans supporting us. Let the American people see the difference between those who are fighting for working families and those who are not.
All right. So that's Bernie Sanders. But here's the thing. I want to acknowledge people in the live stream chat. Illinois says, Bernie's like Lassie for the DNC. What's that, boy? The people are getting uppity? We go there and show them your belly. Good boy. And then also Carlos Von Chang says, we have a living scarecrow in office. Gamer and Ganja for Life says, I used to be a Bernie bro, but not anymore. DNC need their dog Bernie, Lassie to save the day. Well said, Illinois. So the thing is, Bernie Sanders, look, I respect the words that he has said. And let's be very clear here. You know, in 2016, Bernie Sanders' movement inspired Daniel and myself to set up Hard Lens Media. I mean, I'll never forget what I saw in Philadelphia. Honestly, I couldn't tell the Clinton supporters apart from the Trump supporters. I'll never forget at the Wells Fargo Center when I saw Bernie Sanders supporters and delegates and volunteers and Green Party people being slapped around, physically assaulted by Clinton supporters. That's something I saw firsthand. And Bernie Sanders is still sheepdogging for these same Democrats. By the way, Bernie, you know, about Biden's agenda, how much does he follow through on? By the way, one other thing. Biden's deploying troops, 700 troops or so, back to Somalia. Any word from you, Sanders? But don't worry, folks. I got something for you right here. I got a list of promises. A list of promises from Joe 30330 from PolitiFact. So the Biden Promise Tracker monitors the 100 most important campaign promises of President Joseph R. Biden. Let's talk about this. So look at Biden Promise Tracker. Promises kept, 17%. Compromise, 4%. Promises broken, 1%. Stalled, 23%. In the works, 45%. So if anything that got done, it was 17%. Compromise, I guess, no, we're not getting any of that. And working on, in the works. You know what that is? It's sort of like saying, oh, I promise I'll paint the garage. It's in the works. I promise I'll throw out the garbage. It's in the works. Well, let's check this out. So, you know, we're looking at the Biden Promise Tracker. You know, let's look at some of the things he's promised to work on. You know, things. Remember, yellow is 23%. That's stalled. Here's one. Work to codify Roe v. Wade. That's in the yellow. Now in the red. Oh my goodness! Look at this. Look at this. Promises broken. Block new fracking on federal lands, but not ban all fracking. Here's a promise he followed through on. Here, identity politics. Nominate the first black woman to the U.S. Supreme Court. Here's a compromise. Reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act. Here's something that, again, being stalled. Add 150,000 community health workers. Create a public health share jobs corps. Expand broadband wireless, broadband via 5G to every American. Hey, here's something, green. Establish new fuel economic standards. Priorities, right? All right, again, still, you know, stalled right now. Use evidence to determine COVID-19 openings and closings. Introduce a constitutional amendment to eliminate private donors from federal elections. That'll never happen. Never happen. Never will happen. Here, check this out. Look, here's a promise he followed through on. Work with allies to develop secure private sector-led 5G networks. Oh, all right. No, this next one's hilarious. This next one's hilarious because I'm laughing at this. Forgive student loan debt from public colleges and university. I remember a few weeks ago we covered that. Still waiting. You know what? I don't think that's going to happen. Hey, let's have democracy in the chat. Audience, let's have democracy in the chat. All right, for forgive student loan debt and also codify Roe v. Wade. Do you think Biden's going to follow through? Type in 1 if you believe he'll follow through, at least codifying Roe v. Wade and pardoning student debt. Type 2 if you're like, no, BS, bull, no, not buying it, not buying it at all. He ain't going to do jack. See, Bernie, this is your friend, your buddy, your pal. Hey, here's another one that's stalled right now. Create a public credit reporting agency. All right. Here's another one. Direct federal resources to help prevent violence against transgender women. That's something he's apparently following through on. Okay. Here's another one. Establish an offshoring tax penalty. That'll never happen. All right. So this is another good one. Big Pharma. Change tax code so pharmaceutical production stays in the U.S. That's stalled. Remember, yellow is stalled, right? Red is broken. The green, yellow, red is compromise. The yellow and black is in the works. And again, green is promises kept. So there we go. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there so everyone remembers. So, hey, check this out. End for-profit detention centers. That's right now being stalled. I wonder if that'll happen. Restore the Affordable Care Act's contraception mandate. Double number of immigration judges and staff. Here's a compromise. Enact domestic terrorism law. Okay. Another one that's stalled. Double value of Pell Grants. Hey, do you think with all these ones that are stalled, do you think there'll be promises broken? I don't know. I wonder, Bernie, who's undermining the agenda? It seems like Biden is either stalling or compromising, or it's all in the works. Something's gonna happen, right, Bernie? I mean, it's easy to blame the GOP, and of course, look, Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin, they're no angels in all this. We've covered how corrupt they are. We covered how much of neoliberal sellouts that they are, because let's face it, they are corporate Democrats through and through, just like the entire Democratic Party. But Bernie Sanders, you keep sheepdogging people into the Democratic Party, and now there's rumors about you potentially running 3 times the charm. Why run as a Democrat? Look what they did to Nina Turner, who was your most closest fighter. The Democrats screwed her over. And not to mention, this is the same progressive Democrats who greenlit $40 billion for this insane war that's happening in Ukraine. Here's another one that's in the stalling process. And the online sale of firearms and ammunition. Another one that's being stalled. Eliminate cash bail. Another one that's being stalled. Eliminate mandatory minimums for criminals. Here's another one that's going to be stalled. Hey, I want to have democracy in the chat for this one. Here, let's do democracy. Let's pull up the democracy. This will, because again, you could check out the link for the political fact in the description box below. Decriminalize cannabis. Type 3 if you think good old Joe 30330 is going to, legalize cannabis at the federal level. Type 3 if you believe it. Type 4 if you're like, Kit, come on, he's not going to do that. He's never going to do that. And the list goes on and on and on. Biden, like any other neoliberal Democrat. And people wonder why we got Trump in the first place. 2022 will be the canary in the coal mine in regards to how 2024 will play out. And I want to take this quote from Daniel. The Democratic Party and Republican Party, they're both abusive parents. The Republican Party is the alcoholic drunk father who beats you. And the Democratic Party is the pill-popping mom that abuses you emotionally. Don't waste your time on these two parties. And Bernie, I don't know what they offered you. I don't know what they threatened you with. But the fact that you keep on going to bat for the Democratic Party, well, to quote Trump, that's just sad. That being said, we're going to move on now to our next segment. Before we do, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that ring bell notification. Heartlands Media is live every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube, Odyssey, Rockfin, Rumble, and Twitch. Please subscribe to us on Rockfin, Rumble, Odyssey, and Twitch. We do appreciate all the support we are getting, and please consider being a Patreon supporter as well.